to this episode of Real Talk with Wally. So, since our last episode, decided to switch things up just a little bit, so we're gonna change the flow of this bad boy just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a question for this particular episode. I'm gonna answer it in a few different points. Then we're gonna actually have a trivia. Remember, I said we have a giveaway, so make sure, hopefully, you actually tuned into that and answered the call so you can win a prize. So let's get right into it, shall we? So drum roll, please. So the question for this episode is how to gain control over your ambitions. So shout out to Mercedes Johnson for submitting this question to me so that I can answer it. So I don't know, where it's going to take me, but hey, let's see. But how to gain control over your ambitions. That is such an important thing to do because I, for one, I have a lot of different ambitions and goals that I tend to set for myself. And sometimes I create hell for myself on earth because of all these different ambitions colliding and wanting to come together. But you have to be very, very strategic in how you really execute and gain control over your ambitions. So the first point that I want to make is believing in yourself. That definitely is the most important thing of controlling your ambitions, because if you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe truly in that you can accomplish all the things that are in your mind or in your heart, then how are you going to execute them? Because you're going to always waver in your understanding. I remember since I was a kid, I was always interested in cars and the automotive industry. And that is the direction that I wanted to go in. But, sometimes life takes us on a different direction. And you segue away from your original pathway that you set for yourself, and that ambition that I had to start my own car company, or be an employee, even in the automotive industry, and be a part of the product development team and all of that thing. That was a part of my ambition as a kid. I held on to it for throughout up into college. There were just some different pathways in which segued me from that particular ambition. And guess what? It comes full circle, because after years of applying to over 100 different automotive jobs, where I was denied, or like in the example of one of the premier automakers in Atlanta, I'm not going to say their name. So there were a couple companies within that particular brand in which I literally got to the last interview, and I could not understand why I was not sealing these opportunities and these jobs. It was like, it seems like there's something they want me, but then they don't want me. So, but that rejection that I had from all of those different experiences, it led to extreme disappointment. But however, I believed in myself. I believed that there was something more that I needed to accomplish, and maybe I needed to pivot in this way or that way, and maybe shift my vision so that it better aligns with the pathway that has been set for me. Because what I realized is it wasn't for me to just get a job in the automotive industry and maybe work for 30 years and retire. The vision is much greater than that. Granted, I'm still trying to figure out what that vision is, but as you may know, I'm working on a car platform, Car Talk with Wally. So without those rejections, I would not be at this stepping stone, which is Car Talk with Wally. So the point of all of this is you do have to believe in yourself and believe in that ambition that you set out to do and carry on in your life. So that is the first point. The second thing is slow and steady wins the race. When I go back and think about my journey through just adolescence as well as college. Every year you're put in challenging circumstances where you have to get acclimated to a new curriculum, a new grade level, because once you graduated from your previous grade, then it's time for the next level. And the thing is, that's in every aspect of our lives, right? And so there's going to be a point where you don't know what you're doing. An 8th grader, when they're moving to 9th grade, they don't know what high school is like. They have no conceptualize. They can't conceptualize what it's going to be like. They may hear from friends, neighbors, siblings what high school is like, but they don't know until they actually walk into it. So I would say slow and steady definitely wins the race, because there is no way to hurry your journey and the learnings that you need to build a better life for yourself. And so in controlling your ambitions, you have to be slow and steady, meaning that it's okay to pace yourself in these lessons and the things that you do and when you want to develop, but you also have to stay steady. You can't stop. You have to keep moving forward. No matter what life brings to you and what obstacles you may face, you have to continue to move forward. So that's why I say slow and steady wins the race. The other thing is, don't listen to naysayers, because the reality is that our network of people, our family, our friends, coworkers, whoever they may be in society, even when you look at being Black in America, if I will, being Black in America is definitely a challenge, and sometimes we submit to that belief that we're not good enough in the society, and that naysaying that is thrown at us, it distracts us from our path, and it puts salt on our wounds, and it keeps us in a crumbled state until we decide to rise out of it and really pull ourselves together and really illuminate ourselves in all of this. So when there's naysayers against you, in your everyday life, you have to be able to silence that noise, because a lot of times there's different things at play, because people have not experienced what your ambition or your vision is. They're not going to understand it. It's only for you to really understand and for you to carry forward. So definitely don't listen to the naysayers. Number 4 is get focused. There's a lot of distractions all around us when it comes to social media, when it comes to calls, text messages, just going to work, dealing with traffic, listen to TV. It's just so many stimuli that are all around us that is very, very easy to get distracted. And I will admit that I'm one of those that tends to get distracted, because look at the latest thirst trap that may be on Instagram. It distracts you. It distracts you from what the hell you were on Instagram to do. Sometimes I do have to do business on Instagram because this is now my business, but you can easily get distracted from all of the different things around you. So definitely get focused and create a rhythm for yourself. And in creating that rhythm, understand that it won't be perfect, because in my entrepreneurship journey, even when I was employed by someone else, I still had that struggle of figuring out what my schedule should be and how I should arrange things in my life. But when you set out to do the journey that is yours to take and following your ambitions, the reality is that you have to define the structure that works for you and be patient with yourself along that, because you're going to have to make tweaks and pivots and hard lessons. Like I had to learn about lateness, and it's something I'm keep battling. But guess what? I'm doing a lot better than I did last year. I'm doing a lot better than I did 2 years ago. So I'm still going to be late to social events now. That's just how it's going to be. But when it's important to be on time, I really, really make an effort to be on time now. So anyway, you have to get focused, because that is the only way that you're going to accomplish those ambitions. So the fifth thing is dream big and manifest. And you may be thinking, what is this manifesting thing? Like he's talking witchcraft, but I'm not even saying witchcraft is bad. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. Dream big and manifest. So the reality is that we all have a dream inside us. And sometimes we have to resort back to, what did we think of ourselves when we were a kid, when we were watching TV, when we were playing amongst our friends? What did we think of ourselves? Because everyone wants to be this, big thing when they're a kid. And sometimes, your environment does play a role in it, I will say, about what you vision for yourself. But a lot of kids, they want to be a doctor, they want to be a lawyer, they want to be a basketball player, etc. And there's value in that thinking, because kids dream big, they are imaginative, and they truly step into that because they don't know any better, they don't know anything else. We do our maturation process in becoming adults. We really hinder ourselves because we become less childlike in the way that our dreams and visions are. They become a lot smaller. So it is important to keep dreaming big about your ambitions, because this society will define our worth for us. So it's our responsibility to take it back and to take ownership of our ambitions. So dream big. Also manifest. So, and what I mean by that is speaking it into its existence. If you have something you want to accomplish, you put it in the atmosphere. Speak it. And even if you can't speak it in front of other people because they may judge you, or they may not see what you see for yourself, still speak it. Speak it out loud and manifest it, and also write it down. Write down all those wonderful ideas, wonderful ambitions that you have, and consider creating a vision board every year. So what I do, I've been doing this for probably the past 6 years or so, that I just get a whiteboard. Every January, I erase that whiteboard and I write words. I literally write words that describes what my new year is going to look like and what I want it to look like, all the things that I want to accomplish. Sometimes I fall short. Sometimes I may not see it till the next year, but guess what? I'm going to see it, and I do see it. So that is why it is very important to dream big and manifest. All right, let's get into the part of the show that you've been waiting for, and that is the trivia segment of this show. Now, if you followed me on Instagram and you've seen my story from last week, then you will know that I am giving out a $20 gift card to your favorite online store. But there are 4 distinct things that audience members had to do in order to qualify for that gift card. And the first thing being is that I need you to subscribe to Car Talk and Real Talk with Wally on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, I need you to subscribe. I'm just saying. So that is the first thing. The other 3 things basically refers back to my first YouTube video, which is my LGBTQ story. So there were 3 distinct questions that came from that video that you had to answer and direct message me on my Instagram, RealTalkWithWally. So the first thing being, what is the famous singer that I always have to blast loudly in my car? So the answer to that question is the infamous Toni Braxton. The second question being that, what was my girl crush in first grade? The answer to that was Whitney. The third question would be, what are the different definitions that I actually gave to the letter G? So if you remember, I broke down the different words that LGBTQ stands for, and I had G. So the answers to that question, if you answered one of the three, God, gratitude, or greatness. So if you were the first one to direct message me, and you also answered those questions, then you are a winner. So here we are. Who won this gift card for this week? And hopefully we can get more sponsors so we can make these prizes a lot greater than what I myself can provide. But, you know, we're going to get there. But Jumbo! Who is that person that won this gift card? As you see at the bottom of the screen, here is our winner. So I want to thank this person for sharing, and subscribing my content, because I know that we have a lot more in store for you. But also congratulations for winning this gift card. And hopefully it's a lot more to come for all of you. I like to end each episode with a quote. So the quote is based on our initial question: how do you control your ambitions? And there's a great quote that I found on Google, of course. To be happy at home is the ultimate result of ambition. And that quote is by Samuel Johnson. I absolutely love that quote, because the reality that it's speaking to is that home is where the heart is. And if you're not happy with yourself, then you're not going to be your best self. It is not going to result into the ultimate ambition. You know, even when you have ambitions to be the wealthiest person on earth, when you want to accomplish, very material things in this world, how do you feel when you go to sleep at night? Do you feel good about yourself? Do you feel whole in what your life is? So when you truly are happy with home, then that is the ultimate ambition. So absolutely love that one. But thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check out more to come from Real Talk with Wally. Thank you.